continues next week. I can't believe what we have witnessed.
Montez fakes, following, bounds, and he's into the end zone. With tight ends lead blocking, Aaron Hagler.
Hi again, welcome into the Buffalo Stampede. Gary Barnett, Mark Johnson here at Rice-Eccles Stadium. A disappointing season comes to an end. A year after being a top 10 team and winning the South Division of the Pac-12 Conference, Buffaloes get beat 34-13 here against the Utes of Utah. Finish up 5-7. No bowl game for the Buffs in 2017. Disappointment,
but lots of things to learn from this. And one thing is, you don't just throw a switch. You know, because you went 10-2 last year doesn't mean that all of a sudden you got some guys coming back, especially on offense. We had a lot of guys coming back that we're going to be like we were last year. You know, you got to start all over every year, and you got to build, and you got a different team, and you got different leadership. So there's never one year to the next kind of a rotation. Every year's different, and you gotta find a way. You got to change some things up sometimes, but you know, every year's a different year, and leadership is critical.
Yeah, without question. You know, a leopard can't change his stripes. From the start of this season, we were talking about deficiencies on the defensive offensive fronts, and I guess it was an issue all season long, and it was in this ballgame.
Well, and I think personally, I thought maybe we were being too critical because we expected too much from these guys, from this football team. But in reality, they had some flaws, and we talked about those flaws, and hopefully they saw them and would correct them. And you know what? They didn't get corrected. They really weren't much different as the year went on. I think we got a little worse on defense, in the run defense especially. And we just we didn't have a lot of gas, but we ran out of gas early in this year.
Yeah, without question. In fact, Utah, by the way, rushed for over 300 yards in this ballgame. Zach Moss had 196 yards rushing and a couple of touchdowns as the Buffs fall in their regular season finale, 34-13. Now, one of the great Buffs of all time, Philip Lindsay, ends up number 2 in Colorado history, a little over 200 yards away from Eric Bieniemy. You know he was going to have some inspirational comments after the game, and he certainly did.
The game for the Buffs, and they're going to hand to Philip Lindsay. Spinning his way down to the one, and he's in. Touchdown. And maybe the fire is not gone for Colorado.
There's been some great legends here, so I don't know if I've earned that name to be a legend. But I mean, I just want to thank all the opportunities that have been given here, and I just wanted to make an impact in people's lives and just do what I can to for my state and just represent it the right way and with respect and dignity. Yeah, I mean, this is how I've been raised. I just love the game. I do it because I truly love it. I love my teammates, and I come out here and I just give everything I got because I know you never promise tomorrow.
Now, some great comments from Philip Lindsay, and Gary, he goes down as one of the great Buffs of all time. And you said to him at our postgame on the radio, you said, "Young man, you can be on my team anytime." He's one of those guys, isn't he?
I'm telling you, he's one of the first guys you pick, and I don't care where he plays. The way he plays the game, he gives total respect to the game. And as a coach, that energy, that kind of work ethic, and that kind of respect for the game and for his teammates, that's the maximum. That's what you're trying to get to. You're trying to get everybody to be like Philip Lindsay.
Yeah, you never questioned number 23 when he was on the field over the course of his 4 years for the Colorado Buffaloes. All right, Looney, look at this team moving forward now. And as a coach, this begins the process of kind of turning over every stone, doesn't it, for Mike McIntyre and his staff?
It does. He's going to evaluate everything. He needs to sleep on it in a couple of days, but he's got to evaluate his staff. He's got to evaluate the players he's got returning. He's got to evaluate how he's recruiting right now. He's got to evaluate everything, and he can't leave any stone unturned because you do not want to repeat a season like this. I don't care. You just don't want to do it, and it's your responsibility as the head coach to call to account all the things that you're responsible for.
As you look at this thing moving forward, Steven Montez comes back. You got very good receivers in DeJuan Winfrey and Laviska Shenault and K.D. Nixon. There are guys on the defensive side like Drew Lewis. How do you look at this thing moving forward?
Well, first of all, no one played so well that their job's secure. Every job's open as far as I would be concerned. And as I look at this team, that's what it should be. But I think you got great promise in receivers. You got an experienced quarterback coming back. You got a couple of other two quarterbacks that should push him. And that needs to be done. I think you got to find somebody to to take over for Philip Lindsay. That's not easy to do, you know. But defensively, you got to make some heavy changes on defense.
Well, certainly disappointment. A year after winning to South, the Buffaloes finish up with a 34-13 loss here at Utah, 5-7, and no bowl game in 2017. Stay with us here in the Stampede. There's going to be a postseason for CU women's volleyball. We'll talk about it next.
10 teams have won that national championship trophy, and more than a few of those will be in this field of 64. And in Waco, Texas, it'll be Colorado and James Madison. The Buffs, their third appearance in 5 years. Second season for head coach Jesse Mahoney.
Well, we figured they were in the NCAA tournament. We found out on Selection Sunday for CU volleyball, heading down to Waco, Texas, on the Baylor campus to take on James Madison. Jocelyn Hayes, senior for the Buffaloes, joining us. I guess it wasn't a huge surprise, but it's nice to see when your name pops up there.
Oh, totally. It wasn't a huge surprise. We knew we were in. We didn't know where we were going, so that was fun to see. And especially coming off of 2 years of not making the tournament, it was just such a relief to not be like, oh my, is it gonna? It was just kind of nice to sit back and I was like, I know our name's gonna pop up. Now it's just a matter of where. So now we know where.
So mission accomplished. Buffalo's
Exactly.
back in the postseason.
Yes.
Senior night, you had Utah come in here. That didn't go the way you wanted to.
Not exactly. Not exactly. No one likes to take an L on your senior night, but I thought I even told the team afterwards, I was like, I can't be totally mad about a loss because I'm so blessed and excited to have every single one of you as a teammate. We compete at a high level. We're committed. Everybody's involved. Everybody wants to win, and everybody's super excited for postseason. So I couldn't be too upset about it.
No, but could you imagine how quickly it's gone by?
Oh my gosh!
Has it hit you?
Oh, totally. And last season, the entire time, because I was saying goodbye to my senior class, I was like, okay, see you guys later. I got another one, and now it's coming to an end. I was like, what's going on here? Is this what this is supposed to feel like? So it's rapidly approaching.
Yeah, without question. We hope it goes on for a long time, by the way, in the NCAA tournament.
Yes.
Talk about the year, 22-9. This really turned out to be a nice season.
It really did. And I think one of the biggest part was we weren't focusing on we were obviously focusing on our end goal, making it to the NCAA tournament, but we weren't focusing on, okay, well, we have to do this next, and then the next thing, and the next thing. It was, all right, what do we have to focus on now? Our first opponent is this person. Our next opponent is this person. And then in the game, this is the point that we have to win. This is the point that we have to win. So I think that's what really made it, one, go by extremely fast, and two, make sure that we were focusing on the right things at the right time.
So the Buffaloes are back in the NCAA tournament. They're in Waco, Texas. They'll take on James Madison on Friday afternoon down in the Lone Star State. Let's get some more reaction from some of the Buffaloes from the volleyball team.
This season has been so great so far, and we still have a lot of games left to play, hopefully, but to make it back to the tournament, haven't been there since my freshman year. It's definitely been a goal of our entire teams, kind of been in the back of our minds since then, and to make it back my senior year is just really sort of the icing on top of the cake.
The Pac-12 is a meat grinder, and you get pushed to the limit every night, so you know, we're definitely really resilient. We feel like we've seen everything that can come at you in any game. So we're ready to play anybody. I think offensively we're definitely getting a little bit better and hopefully peaking at the right time.
Well, some great comments about getting back in the NCAA tournament from head coach Jesse Mahoney and Anna Pfefferly as we continue with Jocelyn Hayes. Buffs again in action in Waco, Texas on Fridays. They'll take on James Madison. 9 teams out of the Pac-12. Here we talk about you being ready for the postseason and not looking ahead because you couldn't in that league because every week you're facing a tournament team.
No, not at all. Every single team is, and even the teams that didn't make it, they are all phenomenal teams. They would be in any other conference. Amazing, phenomenal teams, so it's definitely a dogfight in the Pac-12.
So you think playing at that level, match in and match out, that prepares you for what you're about to do?
100%, because we don't look at James Madison as a disadvantage to us. We know they're going to be a competitive team, and we know they're going to be coming out on fire. So we have to play our best every single game. There's no nights off.
If the Buffaloes, when the Buffaloes take care of James Madison, they'll have either Baylor or Miami of Ohio, by the way, in Waco. And then the regional's not in Lincoln. It's going to be in Lexington, Kentucky. Anything change from an intensity standpoint once you get to the tournament?
The mentality, just because if we take an L tonight, we're done.
Right.
So definitely there's something in there, but we just need to keep focusing on every single game like it is in the Pac-12 because we knew every single game in the Pac-12 was so intense, and now going into the tournament, if we lose one night, it's
Well, yeah,
you don't
want to be
get
one
another
and done.
chance.
So here you sit at 22-9. As you look and kind of compare this team to the last couple of seasons when he didn't make the tournament, what's the difference on the court that made this team a tournament team?
I think it's just a mentality. On the court, there is no lingering. If we make a mistake, if something goes wrong, if things aren't going right in any way possible, there's no panic, and if there is, it's immediately obliterated. So I think that's what is different about this team this year, is we are always looking ahead, and that's what's so awesome. So
it's amazing that just a mental shift like that can improve a team, right?
Oh, definitely. And volleyball is a very mental game. So
well, good luck.
Yeah.
We hope that you're mentally ready for the second round as
yes,
you take care of
exactly.
James Madison in the opening round of Waco, Texas on Friday afternoon. She's Jocelyn Hayes. The Buffs back in the dance. We're going to shift gears here and talk some basketball with George King for the undefeated men's team when we continue here in the Stampede.
It's King for three, and he knocks it down, so he has a little...
Welcome back to the Buffalo Stampede. George King had himself an awful nice ball game with the victories. The Buffaloes improved to 6-0, win over Air Force 81-69. George at 25 points, career high 15 rebounds. 15 rebounds. I bet that's what made Tad Boyle happiest after the ball game, wasn't it?
Yeah, that made myself happy as well. I mean, especially coming off the fact that we hadn't been rebounding the ball at a high level in the last couple of games, and I'm glad I was able to do that now. You know, it shows that, you know, we are capable of rebounding at a high level. We out-rebounded Air Force last night by a lot, and
by 21.
Hopefully we can carry that on.
By the way, back-to-back 20-point games for George King. First time that's happened since the 15-16 campaign. Rebounding. Former coach Jeff Bosdelic used to say it's a will and a want to. Just got to go out and really want to do it.
Basically, I mean, the balls, it's a free ball, it's 50-50. And you just got to go out there and get it, and that's what I was able to do last night.
Is this a team that can be a good rebounding team overall?
Absolutely. We got guys who can rebound. Shoot, our point guards can rebound. Naaman can rebound. Obviously, Torrey, myself, Tyler. I think it's a good rebound as we've seen here at Colorado since Andre. So we have the sky's the limit as far as this team for rebounding.
George has mentioned at 25 points was a 3 or 4 3-pointers in the ball. The ball looks good coming off your hand right now. Does it feel comfortable?
And it feels good. Finally, I mean, that's why you shoot every day. You know, I shoot every day, work on my game, and you know, I always keeping my pencil sharpened. And I'm glad that they were falling for me.
Is that always the key when the ball's maybe not coming off your hand right? Just more shooting?
Basically, I mean, it's really just, for me, it's really just like the wrist, you know, and following through. Like Coach Prelo always tell me to keep my hand in the rim, and that was definitely what I was able to do, so I'm happy.
Again, a nice game from George King, 25 points, 15 rebounds. The Buffaloes unblemished still at 6-0 with the victory of Air Force. In fact, let's hear some coaches' comments from Tad Boyle after the game.
I wasn't happy with our three-point line defense in the first half. We did a much better job of that in the second half. It's a good win. It's hard to win college basketball games, especially in November and especially with a young team. So we continue to keep taking care of business, but we have to get better. And next Saturday at 11 a.m., we have to be ready to play because Colorado State will be a great challenge for us. Number one, you better put your hard hat on. That's the first thing they got to learn. Nothing's going to be given to you. We have to go up and earn everything that we get. It's going to be a tough, loud, they don't like us up there. We know that. We're going in, we're with a workmanlike attitude, nothing to be afraid of, but again, we respect everybody, we fear nobody. And our freshmen have to understand it's on. We have that mantra when we come together before practice, before we take the floor, it's on. Like 11 o'clock next Saturday, it's on.
Head coach Tad Boyle after the Buffaloes' victory over Air Force, 6-0 on the season, playing some pretty good basketball as we continue with George King. You like the way this young team is kind of developing a little bit? I mean, I know there's going to be a learning curve with all the young guys out there, newness, but you like it?
Absolutely, I do. I think our sense of urgency is really great, especially with this young team that we have. I mean, we got great guard play, great forward play, you know, and we're just playing together as a team, and it's just really fun right now just to get out and play with these group of guys. I'm really excited about this season.
When McKinley Wright has got the ball in his hands, and he does primarily as a point guard for this team, it's got to make it fun for yourself, a guy like you, a guy like Naaman Wright on the wing, because, you know, he's always looking. He's going to find you if you're open. So if you're running, he's going to find you.
Yeah, McKinley, he makes the game really simple for myself, but also, you know, I see it both ways. I see it because I play the 4, so he makes it really easy for me as the big spot, and also when I'm running the wing at the 3, it makes it really simple, and I mean, he makes the game really simple for Naaman, Torrey, makes it simple for even other guards, Dom, you know, and like I said, I mean, that just makes the game so much easier, which makes the game even more fun to play, which is why I'm really excited to carry on this season.
You know, with the versatility in your game, Tad will use you a lot at the 4. You like that? Because a lot of times you got a bigger guy in you, which you can take outside.
You know, I don't mind. I just like being on the floor. Obviously, I'm a versatile guy, but yeah, I like that as well. I'm a mismatch issue at this level, and I try to take advantage of my advantages. So.
This weekend, pretty big ball game. Buffs have got to go up to Fort Collins, Moby Arena, take on Colorado State. You look forward to that?
Absolutely. I like playing over there. It's loud. It's really going to be. We haven't played in an environment like that yet, and so it's going to really test us. And I told the guys, you know, we can't really, you know, scout how the game's going to be, because we can watch Colorado State the last couple games on film, but they're going to be a whole nother team when we go in there to their place. They're going to play harder. They're going to elevate their game, so we're going to make sure that we elevate our game. It's going to really test to see what type of guys we really have on this team.
Don't listen to the comments coming out of the crowd on Saturday.
You're right, exactly.
George King had himself a great ball game, 25 points, 15 rebounds, Buffalo 6-0. They play an 11 o'clock game on Saturday morning up at Moby Arena against the Rams. Speaking of good basketball, the CU women playing very well right now, coming off a tournament win. We're going to connect with Kennedy Leonard coming up next year in the Stampede.
Brecka's on the run, finds Leonard. Leonard crossover, goes in, reverse layup, scored. That's 1,001 career points there for Kennedy Leonard. And
Kennedy Leonard went over 1,000 points in her career at Colorado. She is the 30th player in CU history to score over 1,000 points in just 69 career games played. She is the 5th fastest in school history to reach that milestone. Congratulations, Kennedy Leonard.
Welcome back to the Buffalo Stampede. Kennedy Leonard, the MVP of the Rocky Mountain Hoops Classic this past weekend. Buffaloes get the championship game victory over George Mason, 76-61. Oh, by the way, she went over 1,000 points as well. Not a bad weekend for you, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
We won, and 1,000 points, and got to do it in front of a lot of my family, so that was a huge positive.
Does that mean a little bit at this point in time, or will it be something maybe after your career you'll go back and think about?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really mean too much to me. What mattered more was that we actually won the game. So to be champs was probably what meant more. But of course, I knew it was, in the works, because I have my family here, so they were counting down, holding up posters and stuff, which is a little bit ridiculous. But I'm glad they did that, and I'm glad that they were here to see it.
Do you know that kind of stuff during a ball game, or aren't you thinking about points or where I'm at or what my stats are? Does that ever cross your mind during a game?
Not really, no. I mean, if I'm having a bad night, shooting out well, I think about it a little bit. But the other day, I wasn't thinking about it, and so luckily, I made the little layup that got it, and then I saw it on all the boards around, and I was like just staring at myself. So I was like, this is a little crazy, but yeah, it was fun, and it was a good feeling.
Don't you want, when you hit a milestone, by the way, to have it, some spectacular play, a game-winning 3 or something like that?
Yeah, you always wish, growing up, you're like, oh, I'm gonna, hit the free throw, I'm gonna hit the 3 to win the game, and I think I just made a layup, so it wasn't that, that crazy, nice play, but at least it counted for something.
Yeah, Buffaloes get the title of the tournament, beat George Mason. We said in the title game, Mississippi Valley State was in the opener. Got to take us through this season, sitting at 5-1 right now. Got a very nice win over a ranked team in Miami here a couple weeks ago. You feel good about the way the team's kind of progressing?
Yeah, I feel really good. Our first game was against Stanford and we won, and then we went to North Carolina and went to overtime with them. We should have won that game, but we didn't. And then, we came home and played a couple more games. Then we had Miami and we won that game, so that was a big learning curve for us. And then this tournament, just now we had those 2 wins, and everybody's getting to play a couple minutes, so everybody's getting some time in the game. So I'm proud of us, and I'm happy with where we are, and we still have a lot of growth to get to, but with where we are right now, where we started, it's a big difference.
Tournament MVP for the Rocky Mountain Hoops Classic is the Buffalo sitting at 5-1. Plenty of great comments after the tournament.
I'm excited. That was a great win. I told the George Mason coach before the game, what you built in your program is exactly what we're trying to build here at Colorado, in just a culture of toughness and aggressiveness and fearlessness, and so that's a really good team. So it's a real testament to our ability to play, an experienced veteran group like that, and to play as tough and physical as we did. Worried about the rebounding before the game. George Mason is +10 on their rebound effort every night, and for us to be down a little bit and then come back and beat them on the boards was incredible. So this is a really great win for us against a very good team.
I just try to make every effort to box out my person. She said in the locker room, no more offensive boards, so I try to make that my thing, not to let my girl get any more offensive rebounds.
So we had our team watch yesterday. I think it's good for us to learn how to watch a game and kind of live scout. And so our team stayed and watched the entire game yesterday, and then as soon as the game ended, we went straight to film. The scouts were handed out, the clips were watched, and we started mentally preparing. Yesterday was a really long day. I thought our girls did. You know, we were here at 7:30 for film, and we didn't leave the gym till almost 6 p.m. So it was really great mental stamina and focus on their part. But it is different. You just kind of fully prepare for everybody because you never know. Tonight, I think, was really awesome for Kennedy to have that. You know, I knew she was 4 points away late in our game yesterday, and I thought about putting her in, and I thought, forget it, she'll get it tomorrow. But incredible testament, not just to the great player that Kennedy is, but the work ethic.
We continue with Kennedy Leonard here on the Buffalo Stampede television show. Buffs have got a game this week against North Dakota State. Oh, and that CSU game coming up here early next week. Before we get to that, though, how do you think you're better this season? I mean, we frequently refer to you in very positive terms as being a gym rat. How have you improved your game by your junior season?
I think I've just gotten, to be a better teammate. I think I'm a really good leader this year, and I'm older. Last year I was a sophomore, and this year I'm a junior, and it doesn't seem like it's a huge difference, but I'm an upperclassman now, so it's a little scary that I'm so old. But I think it allows
Consider
me...
who you're talking to, by the way, right now, there, young lady.
I know. In basketball terms, I'm kind of old, but it helps me with the little, the newcomers and the 8 of them. So I think that's the biggest thing I've learned off the court. And then on the court, I think I've just become a scorer on all 3 levels. So I can get to the rim, and then I can shoot pull-ups now, and then I can shoot threes. But I think the most important thing is the leadership.
Most important from a leadership standpoint, what you say or what you do?
Man, probably what you do. Lead by example, I think, because, no matter what you say, you can say whatever you want, but I think more people listen to what you do and your actions.
North Dakota State coming up this week, and I don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse yet. It's a big ball game, but next week, early, you've got Colorado State, a little bit of a rivalry there. Men play there on Saturday.
Yep. That was a great game last year. We won, and it was, I think, on Pac-12 Network, so, a lot of good fans, good crowd. That game's always fun, it's a rivalry, and you get excited about it, so hopefully we can come out and we can win there in Fort Collins.
Kennedy's parents, by the way, are Rams. It's good to know that you gained intelligence and decided to make the right decision becoming a Buffalo.
I know, yeah, they were really pleased with that decision, but, yeah, they're Buffs now. They were once Rams, but they'll be at the game, and they'll be rooting for the Buffs.
I like it. Keep up the good work this season.
I will, thank you.
All right, Kennedy Leonard, she and the women are sitting at 5-1. North Dakota State, Colorado State, a couple of big ball games coming up as we put a wrap with the Buffalo Stampede. We'll talk to you next week.